am back, and I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know how to make yogurt without any fancy machines or equipment or anything. And this is a simple recipe. All you're going to need is 4 ingredients. You're going to need a quart of milk, 4 cups of milk, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and a half a cup of yogurt. And this is my yogurt that I made from a previous batch. I just save a little bit. Now, you certainly don't even have to use the sugar and vanilla, but I like mine flavored. But if you like plain, you just leave these 2 out and just simply do the milk and the yogurt. So, alright, with that being said, and this is easy, friends. That being said, I'm going to fix my camera a minute here. Okay. We are going to dump this in a pan. And this is regular full-fat milk. Just store-bought milk. I just measure it in my canning jar. 1 cup, or 4 cups is 1 quart. Okay, so we're going to bring this to a boil. And stir it so that it does not burn on the bottom or scorch. Now, a lot of people will tell you, oh, you have to bring it to 185 degrees and that's it. And don't let it boil. No, I let it boil. I will let mine boil. And with this recipe, you could very easily turn this into a Greek-style yogurt. You would just simply have to strain it through cheesecloth and just let it drain for about 4 or 5 hours. And then you'll have this real stiff Greek yogurt. But I don't do that. I just do mine just plain. Well, you can see this is how mine turns out. Because this is from my last batch. And see how nice and thick that is. And it turns out very beautiful. And it is good. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to get this to a boil. And you got to be careful when it comes to a boil so that... I have to move my camera, friends. I got to get that leg away from my burner. You have to be careful so that it doesn't boil over and, boil over the pan. It'll make an absolute disaster. So you're going to want to stand here and you're going to want to watch it. So, but anyway, you want most of your ingredients, your milk, you probably want it to be room temperature. It doesn't hurt to do cold. It just takes longer to heat up because mine is not quite room temperature. And your yogurt the same way. Just set it out and let it get to room temp. So anyway, with that, I'm just going to continue to mix this. So just continue mixing your milk until it boils. And just before this starts to boil, I'll be back. So I'm sure to show you where you want it. Okay, friends, I am back. And as you see, this is going to start boiling. And you want a good rolling boil. Once that is at a good rolling boil, see, not quite yet, but it's getting there. And once it is at a good rolling boil, we're just going to turn the heat off and take it off the heat so it don't boil over. And this is the easy. I've done this for years. I love this. I've done it plain and I've done it vanilla, but you can't add anything else to it until it sets up. But when you do, if you want to buy they do sell the culture starter, the yogurt starter, and you can buy it through Amazon, or you can buy it at several places, health food places. But with me, I just use my other yogurt, and you can always just go to the store and buy a container of plain yogurt. Just make sure there's live cultures in it. Okay, now it's gonna start boiling in a minute here. And just keep it moving so that it doesn't scorch on the bottom. That's really important. Otherwise, you might as well fling it out because it will taste terrible. See that? Okay, it's boiling. Alright, we're going to turn this burner off. I'm going to hold it up a minute. We're going to add this sugar to it. We're going to stir that up. Okay, I'm just going to set it back on the burner. It's not going to boil now. And we're going to want to put a teaspoon of vanilla in it. Okay, there we go. Okay, now with that, we're just going to mix it so it's well incorporated and that sugar is dissolved in the milk. Okay, now we're just going to set it on the back burner. I'll show you right over here. We're just going to leave it set there, and I'm going to let it cool to well, probably about 110 degrees, just lukewarm. And then when that cools down, I'll be back and I'll show you the next step. And let me back up a minute. So if you don't want the sugar and the vanilla in there, you can always use honey too in place of sugar. But if you don't want the sweetener and the vanilla in there, just plain, then you would just take it right off the heat when it boils and let it cool. Don't add nothing to it. Let it cool. It'll take about 30 to 45 minutes to cool down. Now you can always put it in your sink with some cold water. Just be careful that you don't get water in it. I just leave mine right on the edge of the stove. So when that is all cooled down, I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Friends, I am back and this is cooled to lukewarm. So now that it's all cool, we're going to take our half cup of yogurt and we're going to add it to it. And we're going to mix, don't over mix it, but just carefully mix it to incorporate it. Okay? That's simple. Alright. Good enough. So now I'm going to take the jar that I measured it in and I'm going to pour it back in there. So, well, we might have a mess here. I might have to do this over here. Right here. Okay. We're going to slowly pour this back. Actually, I don't even need that. I'm going to slowly pour this. See, there's some chunks in there, and that's alright. It won't hurt a thing. We're just going to pour that right in there. Top it right off. Beautiful. And you know what I need? I need to grab a ring. I'm always forgetting something. Anyway, so we're just going to put that on there. And then we are going to I'm going to turn my oven light on because that's where I incubate it. You can set it, especially now that it's summer. You know, if you do it overnight, I would suggest putting it in the oven where there's, there's light, there's a little heat. But if you're going to do it during the day, you could set it in a nice sunny area and let the sun do the work. Or you can just put it in your oven. Me, I'm going to put it in my oven. But I'm going to show you back over here very carefully. Whoa. I am so sorry. Okay. I'm just going to lay this towel out because I'm going to wrap this towel around this jar. Just like so. I'm going to put it in my oven all wrapped up like a pretty little package. I'm going to leave it just like that in my oven with the light on for about 10 to 16 hours. That's where I have good luck. So like it's 5 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow morning when I get back from work, because I work a few hours in the morning, it'll be ready. And then I'll just take it out, check it, and pop it in the fridge to cool for about 4 hours. And then you've got some wonderful yogurt. So that's it, friends. This is going to go in the oven, and in about 16 hours, 10 to 16 hours, it'll be done, and it'll be wonderful. So thanks for watching. I hope you try it. You'll enjoy it.